entered once again to the main town of Tari as early as tomorrow night or Saturday morning.
Good news for residents. Erin Ramsey, thank you. This was a
line of defence. There are not enough boats for the number.
A very emotional day for plenty of locals taken to evacuation centres. Take a listen.
It's broke my heart. It has broke my heart. But I feel sorry for everybody, not just me. But it's ripping my guts out.
How are you feeling now? What's going on?
That's what God feels right now, people. You know what I mean? You know why? Because you don't have to be in that situation. Your government has made you in that situation. Your leader has made you in that situation. He allowed you, or they allowed you, to be in such areas. They gamble with your life and how you feel. And they believe as long as you're a little pile, their big pile is on their side, they don't really care about your little pile. Then they squash it over and hope you forget over time and stuff like that. That's what's been going on. And that's why I've been talking about that certain areas need certain things to be done. Otherwise, you're just a fool collectively. And you can't feel sorry for fools collectively, can you? You feel ridiculous. You feel bad. You feel like shit, right? And then hopefully you learn from that. But usually to learn collectively, you got to stand up collectively to learn. Otherwise, you'll have little piles constantly, little bubbles like that, constantly happening because your government likes to gamble or doesn't care. What do I mean by it? Well, where these areas flood, they flood all the time. They said this is worse than ever. That happens every now and then. History shows that on what we've recorded. It can even have even worse. We've only just recorded so much, but it shows that we have ups and downs, definitely in the areas of where you expect it to. Right? And they can be big areas, and they're spread out in these areas, just like a tornado in America, in tornado areas. Flood areas are the same thing. So what you could do, even the basic, is do the dirt basic road, isn't it? We have machinery today. You guys look down, yeah, they got all these things that the olden days they didn't have, and they had slaves though, and they got people together, and they had honour, and they knew certain things, and they were a bit more simpler, so they were onto these things a bit more. But then they lost their basics. Isn't that shocking? Where they should have had channels channeled and built, so where these floods happen, it can get channeled on and stored for later. And if you've got a lot of desert around where you can actually channel that to the desert, there's no ocean in the way or anything like that, not even massive mountains that other countries have challenged through. You can channel this water to other places and then make a benefit from it. God says, when I give you an overload of something, can't you at least make a benefit of it? That it at least balances it out? So if you have to do a little cleanup, but that's okay, we got a shitload of water. You know what I mean? But you don't, because all you keep thinking is your sins, collective outcome sins of money and business, not what needs to be done. It's money and business. And you fail in these areas constantly that could have already paid for these things 10 times over if you go back. Check it out. I'd love someone to do that. Go back to all the government failures and bullshit and the voice kind of things and all this shit and the delays and how much it costs and all this crap, and you'll find that you probably paid 10 times as much, 100 times as much. You should have just done it way back there, like I talk about when it comes to the cheap items. Now, there's sometimes people are forced into that, but the government is not forced into that. They force you into that, you see? If they're into it, what country's forcing them then? You see? So good luck out there. It is very sad with these tragedies. The vulnerable usually go first, right? And the weak and the ones that don't have much in these tragedies. And they don't need to occur constantly. Every time a tragedy happens, we seem to see it worse. Like here in Australia, the floods are getting worse than getting better after every tragedy. Isn't that sad, Emma? Yeah. So have a good one. And what will your local government do now? Just give you what you need to hear in the moment? Does that satisfy you still today with all your connection and so-called education? You just let us know, because collectively you will. See you later.